Alright guys, so here we are at our chest. We have finished it up. It looks all beautiful. So we are good to go start rendering. So I'm going to drop a cylinder in so that I can make a stage. I'm going to scale it up. And then I'm going to go into my attribute editor. I'm going to bring my subdivisions down because you never really need that many subdivisions. And then I'm going to go into mesh display and reverse so that I have the wire prettiness on the inside. And then I'm just going to delete a few of these faces here. Nice little stage. You might want to add some more subdivisions, but I'm just showing you guys the quick way of doing it. So make sure you make yours look pretty. I know you will. Alright, so from here, I'm kind of setting up like what I would say is my camera, just kind of like a guess, a little fake artsy one. But I'm also going to add some lights. So I'm going to drop a sky dome in, and then I'm also going to add an area light and drag that out and just scale it up just so I have a little bit more light bouncing off the front of my chest, kind of really highlighting my beautiful lion sculpt. Alright, so from here, I'm not going to use rendering on that side. I'm going to switch to rendering on the left side, and I just think the other one, it's scary, it throws a lot at you, so rendering on that side. So I have these rendering. So now I'm going to go to render settings. Then I'm going to scale all the way down and everything looks good. I'm going to change EXR to PNG. You can use whatever you want as long as it goes on ArtStation. I would select my camera there, and then I'm going to switch to HD 1080. So you'll need to scroll down just a little bit, and there it is. And everything looks beautiful, good to go. I'm going to switch over to Arnold Renderer, and this is where we can mess with our samples. You might need to put them up a bit more. I wouldn't go more than 6. So yeah, just be careful of how far you set your samples up. Alright, and then from there, I'm going to close out of that, and I'm going to start rendering. And this is going to take a lot of time, so I'm going to go ahead and speed ahead to the end of the render. It might take you a little bit of time, but that's the nature of rendering. Alright, so here we are. We have our shaded render. It'll save to your image folders if you set your project right. And you're going to want to make sure that you're changing the name as each image as you go. If you're doing multiple renders, you can just do it. Change name. Then, now we're going to switch to doing our wireframes. So we're going to go back to render settings. And where it says render using, I'm going to go to Maya Hardware 2.0. And most of the settings should be the same. It all looks good, perspective, HD, beautiful, perfect. Now we're going to switch over to My Hardware 2.0, and all the way at the bottom, you'll have to click this little arrow key at Render Options, and then I'm going to go to Render Mode and switch it to Wire on Shaded. Close, and then we're going to simply just render. And it's a lot quicker to render your wireframes, which is super nice. So I'm just going to save my image and then making sure I'm changing the file type to PNG or however you want to save it. So, and name it wire. Actually, let's name it chest wire. Then I'm going to hit save on that. And now let's look at some bonus stuff, some ways you can kind of present your work a little bit differently. I'm going to open up Photoshop and I'm going to drag in my shaded render and look at my layers and unlock that. And then I'm going to drag in my wireframe. Sure, I had the little checks. And then I'm going to do the mask, which is this circle square, and add a gradient. And there you have it, a nice little blend, kind of showing the in-between of your wireframe and your chest. It looks particularly nice on things with textures, but it still looks nice either way. It's a fun way to showcase your work. Good luck, you guys!